Homeschooling applications are surging in states across the country due to the uncertainty caused by COVID. In Nebraska, applications are up 21% from last year. In Vermont, they're up 75%. And there's a rush of parents in North Carolina filing notices that they plan to homeschool their children. It was so numerous, it shut down a government website temporarily. Joining me now to discuss homeschooling and what parents should expect and more is Executive Director of the Regina Coeli Academy, a Catholic hybrid homeschooling program, Kari Beckman. She joins us from Atlanta. Kari, according to the National Home Educators Research Institute, prior to COVID-19, last year there were about 2.5 million homeschooled students in grades K through 12 in the United States. That was up from 1.8 million in 2012. Why do you think we're seeing this increase in homeschooling across the country?
Well, honestly, Raymond, I mean, we look at COVID and the terror that it's created in our world, certainly, but there is a blessing, and that is that parents now know that homeschooling their children is a good thing. It's a thing that they can do well, and they're looking for support, and they're understanding that they don't need to pay the high tuition costs to get a good education for their children and great formation, quite frankly.
Now, homeschooling numbers are expected to increase. I mean, you mentioned it a moment ago. Due to COVID, a 10% increase is anticipated. What advice would you give parents who are opting for homeschooling and perhaps new to it?
I would definitely say that you don't have to do it by yourself. I think one of the problems that we see with homeschooling is parents think that they have to be the actual hand-to-hand educator, and it's just not true. If you look at the statistics, Raymond, that you're talking about, most of those parents are hiring help, but they're doing it in their home. So they're becoming managers and CEOs of their children's education. And quite frankly, no time better than now to be the CEO of your child's formation and education.
Mm-hmm. What do you think parents need to know to be sure they're prepared to effectively homeschool? How do you prepare your house for it?
Sure. I think one of the things you have to do is you have to take a different mindset about your daily life. You can't be the neighborhood watch person just because they think you're homeschooling your child. You're a teacher during that time, and you need to make sure that that's respected. I always tell my parents, no doctor's appointments during schooling time. Turn the phone off, focus on your child, get in that brain and form that soul for heaven.
You've been a proponent of homeschooling and a hybrid model of schooling. Regina Coeli Academy, which you founded in 2003, has a mix of homeschooling and classroom instruction. What are the benefits of that hybrid model, and why do you think people are so drawn to it? It is exploding and has since 2003.
I think the reason that it's so attractive, quite frankly, is because it's a great balance of both and. So you get that one-on-one time with your child, the time that you can really build those relationships that, quite frankly, right now, Raymond, when we're looking at the world that we're looking at, so important for you to know where your child is and what they're thinking. But you also get the balance of putting them in a classroom so that they're ready for other instruction, a different kind of way, a way to actually talk and have great oratory skills, which we're going to need. We can't avoid that, especially right now. We need to build apostles for Christ who can go out and be leaders of the gospel. And at Regina Coeli Academy, that's what we're helping the teachers as well as the parents form in our students.
Now, due to COVID-19, many schools are offering only online instruction. How important is it for a child to go to a central location, to be with their peers, for physical instruction in some way?
Well, here's the reality. We were made to be in person with one another, right? This is the great message of the gospel of Jesus Christ. He reaches to the person. And so, unfortunately, we are sitting a lot of kids, millions of kids, right in front of a screen, and it's detrimental to their soul and their mind. At Regina Coeli Academy, we are in person, and when we can't be in person due to executive orders and all kinds of craziness that we're trying to mitigate, we want them on the telephone at least. So they're not just sitting in front of a computer, but rather really having to formulate these beautiful pictures in their mind and really take what they're learning and cement it the way that Aristotle would say you should, which is building that imagination so that they can retain what they're learning rather than this passive learning of sitting in front of a computer that's doing all the heavy lifting for the brain.
Last year, you opened your first school in the UK, and in the last 5 years, prior to coronavirus, homeschooling in the UK was up 700%. Given the pandemic, what level of interest have you had from families looking to Regina Coeli as an option for the school year?
Oh, the interest is off the charts. We're opening this year Phoenix, Charlotte, and another location in Dallas. So we've opened new locations. Internationally, Raymond, I just had 3 emails today from 3 different countries. So it is definitely on the rise. And again, I think that's the blessing of this terrible pandemic that we're under, is that parents are going to take inventory of what's happening with their children's education. This is an opportunity, parents, to just sit back, take inventory, and become that CEO.
If you'd like to find out more about homeschooling and Kari Beckman's Regina Coeli Academy, visit rcahybrid.org. Kari, thank you.
Thank you, Raymond.